happen. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. For that's kind of a big reason why I'm very careful with any sort of signal that I give out on NVIDIA, simply because it's a very expensive stock. It's a monster. There are plenty of people that shouldn't be trading this with me. You know what I mean? Um, and right, yeah, but you know that that's ridiculous, right? A 1700 call, right? I mean, going that far to the money, you're gonna get killed by theta, right? And I would rather you either paper trade it or just kind of pretend like you're trading it, right? So it's like, um, I, maybe load up like the 1050 calls, or what was it, 1150 this morning? Yeah, because we're above 1100. Um, and you buy, or you pretend to buy whatever contract you would want to be buying, and say, okay, Ethan got in here, or this is where I want to get in, and my fill is X, and just, you know, kind of use your imagination and trade it. Um, that's I would rather you try to learn and educate yourself on a stock like this, because what's interesting is I'm used to this kind of stuff, especially when I first started trading. Tesla was like a $2,000 stock. Amazon was like 3,500 bucks. Nvidia was 800 or 900 bucks. So I started trading when contracts were usually over $1,000. That's just the environment that I started in. And it was interesting because once all those stocks split, it was like a completely different world for me. And now that I've kind of gone through both sides, I would rather, when things are well, I don't know. It depends. It depends on the stock. It depends on the contracts and stuff like that. But there are plenty of times where I'm okay with things being expensive, because you can catch a really nice move, and you can also, if you have enough capital to trade it, um, if you have enough capital to trade the expensive contracts, that also means that you can have a little bit wider stop losses and profit targets. Like for Nvidia, I'm not going to use like a $2 or $3 stop loss. I could, right? But you might get killed by a bunch of little paper cuts, right? A bunch of little tiny stop losses. I would rather at times trade expensive contracts on big expensive names like this, because the IV, right, the implied volatility is a little bit higher. And even if it's not, the contracts are so expensive that you can catch a 50, 60, 100 point move per contract very easily. So if you have the capital, it's actually pretty nice. However, it's just percentages, right? So if I'm trading smaller contracts, smaller names, it's still percentages. However, the contracts won't move as crazy simply because they're much cheaper, right? So I might get a 1 or 2 cent move per, tick up or tick down on the stock. On a big juicy stock like Nvidia, you're getting 10, 15 cent jumps per move up or down. So again, it comes down to capital, but at the end of the day, it is all just kind of percentages. So you can kind of look at it both ways, if you know what I mean. But still, I would rather be very careful signaling this stuff to you guys, just because I know what it's like to be starting an account with not that much money and wanting and thinking that, okay, well, no, I can make a bunch of money trading a big expensive name like this. And then you get hurt. Which do you like more, the expensive ones or not? To be honest with you, to be honest with you, I would say it depends on the stock. Like Nvidia, I like that they're expensive. Um, for a time like this, when Nvidia is really moving nice, because I can go in with more capital and make more money. However, I do like when contracts are a bit cheaper, because then I can buy a good amount of them, quantity wise, and then I can scale in and scale out. Right? If I want to go in with 10 grand and a contract's 200 bucks, well, I got to go in with 50. Right? If I want to go in with 10 grand on Nvidia, I could probably buy like 5 or 4, or whatever it is. So scaling out is much harder because I don't have the quantity there. But the contracts move very clean. The IV is typically up. You can catch big percentage moves. Like, today would have been pretty crazy. I mean, off the open, if you caught that off the open move, you probably made 30 to 50% in about 2 minutes. On a Tuesday, it's pretty freaking good. Vans, yeah, I'd agree. 200 to 400 is pretty good. 200 to 500, 200 to 800. I don't know, anywhere in that area. Over $1,000 is kind of where I feel like I need to be a little bit more careful, especially because I'm signaling to you guys, and I don't want you to just be overly confident in me and want to go in very heavy on a stock that you shouldn't be trading, and it ends up being like the one red trade I give that week or that month or whatever it is, and you get crushed, and then you're mad at me or you're mad at yourself or whatever it is. So yeah, but yeah, pretty freaking crazy move today, guys. Big gap up, so now the chart's going to be looking a little bit wonky. We got two gaps here now. We have the gap from earnings and we have the gap from this morning. So I do think that there could be some pretty nice downside trades in the future. Do I want to be doing that right now? No. Do I think that this is going to like rip to 1250 without stopping? No. Could it? Of course. I mean, shoot, we moved $75 today. So keep in mind the gaps are going to be below us here. I'm going to be interested in trading those when they come around. Right now, I want to be continuing to trade the upside. Do I expect a move like today tomorrow? No. I think that after a move like this, probably best to expect a pullback day or a choppy day. But once again, it's NVIDIA, right? So you can't really have any sort of bias that this isn't going to move much. I would rather come into the day not expecting a crazy day and then, reacting to some really good price action. Um, I would rather you do that than come into the day thinking, oh man, like, I have to catch this next big move, go in heavy, try to hold for the whole day, get caught in a dip, and then it never bounces again. And then you're holding for a whole day, you're down 70% on a very expensive contract, and you're screwed, right? So that is one of the main things I'm trying to keep us away from, because it's very easy to it's very easy for that to happen, especially with people that are new and they want to make that big money and they want to catch that big trade. And that's typically where that one day comes around where you don't get price action like today. And honestly, today was a very hard day to hold through if you were someone that was expecting to hold it for the whole day, right? Early on today, we got a lot of chop, not much movement. Market was selling off. I think SPY sold off most of the day. Yeah, it really did, especially towards the end of the day. So you got that nice rip, very slow kind of grind higher move. Then you got that pretty aggressive pullback that I'm sure a lot of people probably stopped out on or missed out on profits or whatever. And then it had a little bit of a bounce back toward the end of the day. But sometimes that's just when you have to have those big price targets and those wider stop losses to try to capture these moves and not freak out. But, obviously, like a lot of us know, with options, you're going to be a little bit more timid and you may hesitate and not think the right way simply because they move so crazy, right? I mean, if you're up 200% and you get a pullback for 20 minutes of that one day, and you go from up 200% to up 75%, you may freak out and sell when, if you were to hold to your profit target, you'd be up, 250% or whatever it is. Caught a 12-point move later in the day. Nice, Duco. Yeah, I mean, but once again, hindsight's 2020, right? You look back and you think, man, I could have made a ton of money today. Nobody knew this was going to happen. I didn't expect it to happen. I thought, okay, maybe we could see 1130 today. To me, that looks like it would be a pretty good top. And we moved another $20, so it is what it is. Point is what stock? Yeah. So a point lingo wise means $1. So, I would think NVIDIA would move 20, 30 points. That's $20, $30. Yeah, good, Duke. A lot of people do though, right? A lot of people look back and think, man, I should have done this, I should have done that. And yeah, of course, it's good to criticize yourself and try to recognize things for the future, right? But it's hard. Well, now that I know like what good price action and bad price action looks like, it's like That's why I went over those few trades today that, yeah, maybe we could have taken, but were they easy? Were they high odds? Were they good setups? Were they worth losing money on? And I would say no. So NVIDIA moved about 74 points today. Yes, exactly. Could you review exactly why you didn't signal a buy? Was it because we didn't get the big push in volume? Just trying to understand. Yeah, 100%. So, like you guys know, I like those pullbacks off the open, right? Especially if something's gapped up. Something I feel like I could have done better today was typically when I have a stock that is opening up over a key level that I'm looking at. Later, Duco. So typically, like NVIDIA, for this example here, we opened up above this $1,100 price level. That is a key level to me, right? Just like 1150 would be, just like that $1,000 price level would be. It's a nice whole number, and we opened above it. Typically, when that happens, I would look to buy a pullback into that level. So off the open today, we opened up at 1102 and we pulled back to about 1098, 1099 was the low. I mean, the exact low was 1098.83, right? So call it 1099. On a stock this big, you can't use cents or dollar, single dollar moves to, you can't really consider them. So right here, I would just call this a pullback to the 1100 level. Okay. Since we were up roughly, 30 to 40 points this morning, I don't know what it was exactly, around 40 points. There is no way that I could consider a $2 pullback enough, right? Especially because the market was decently weak early on this morning. I just didn't want to buy that, right? But if we pulled down, like I said this morning, down literally just this much further, down to around 1095, I would consider roughly a $10 pullback enough for what I was looking for. I would have been looking to buy pretty decent chunk of money down here in this area. If this got pulled back, I was looking for a move like this. However, I had to stick to my plan. I was not going to buy a $2 pullback because you could see a $15 red candle right after. Right? We're up so much, I expect there to be profit taking. People that held over the weekend, big money guys who are, I mean, keep in mind, guys, this is probably around a $3 trillion company now. It is now one of the biggest companies in the world, maybe the biggest. I don't know exactly. Obviously, Apple and Meta and Microsoft are all up there, right? But they're multi-trillion-dollar companies. For this to move 40 points overnight, that took hundreds of billions of dollars, right? So for me to think about a $2-3 pullback on this when it's up 30 40 points, it's just not enough. So I rather have been safe and waited for a bigger pullback to buy into, let the contracts kind of die off the open, buy them cheap, and then look for the push. Right. Plus, there was news 30 minutes after the open. So, of course, looking back, I'm like, man, I kind of could have forced that trade, right? Even if I bought some there and some lower, right? Bought half position at 1100. If I got the pullback to 1095, 1093 like I wanted, I buy the other half. My fill isn't as good, but that also gives us a $10, $20 move to the upside. And just me knowing the stock, I could see this going to 1110, 1120, 1130 throughout the day. And sure enough, we hit around 1150 today, right? So I know that was a little bit maybe too detailed there, Vans, but that was why I'm very safe. And especially because I'm signaling to a lot of people that I know don't have the right account size to trade this like that. Like if it was me, I would have bought kind of down in, maybe bought some more as it moved back up and caught the trade with a ton of contracts. I just know that most people can probably only buy one, maybe two. And the last thing I want to do is signal something that aggressive and that risky to people that I know can get really, really hurt and probably going in with their whole account. Um, could I trade that on my own silently? Of course. But I want to be transparent with you guys so you know exactly what I'm doing and thinking. Yeah, for sure, Vans. Yeah. But and again, the only other trade I would have considered today is this push up above 1110. We kind of rejected here right around 1115, pulled back into 1110, Didn't break under, right? VWAP's kind of coming up here. We hold. It's just tough to catch this candle. You know what I mean? It's like you either buy this dip or chase this high. And if you got in at 11.15, you catch around a $20 move. I would have personally been looking for an 11.20 break. We did break by 8 cents, but on a $1,100 stock, I'm not looking for an 8-cent break. And then we, pulled back. So if I would have forced this trade, I would have looked for more, kind of rejected, chilled out. I would have held through this because we're holding this box here. And then we fell kind of right around where break even price would be. And then we fell another $8. I mean, that would have been probably a 20% loss on those contracts. We would have gotten faked out here. I would have signaled a stop loss. And then this grinded higher. Maybe we forced this trade. Why didn't I take this one and why did I not like this one? Well, we fell all the way back, kind of what I liked. And then the volume was just dead. Look down here, right? Volume is just really, really dead. And these candles are very slow. I want these big, massive green candles where there's a lot of volume. When these slowly trickle up to a level without a nice pullback or a pattern, this is what I'm scared about. You slowly grind higher. You get up to this level. There's a wall there. There's a lot of things that I would like. You break through, take out all those orders, and then you get the wick, get the pullback, and it dies. And then, buying up here at highs, your stop loss is where? I mean, like, where are you going to put a stop loss? $5 below? Is it a certain P&L? There's no real key level to stop out at. I like key levels to stop out at, not necessarily price. Not necessarily P&L. I mean, I use prices and key levels, obviously, to kind of figure out where my stop losses should be. That's because I go in with a certain amount of capital that I'm comfortable with, knowing that, okay, if I lose anywhere from 5 to 20% at the most on this trade, I'm going to be okay, right? Like I won't even flinch. I'll make the right decision. If I go in way too heavy, well, that's kind of where you may have a slip up, right? You're not going to be thinking the right way. You're going to be, you may hold on to that trade way too long. That could be one of the days where the trade never comes back. You get crushed. You're in with too much money. You lost a month's worth of profits. Believe me, I've done that in the past, right? And that's why I can teach this stuff, is because I know exactly what is going to put you guys in those situations where that can happen. So when you have a chance, I've got a question on a retail giant. Go for it. Is it Ulta? I bet you I guessed right. Following other big box retailers examine their earnings report, and generally they gain stock price soon after. Companies like Walmart, Target, Macy's, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Why is Ulta different? They've gained. Well, the thing is, I don't know much about Ulta, Farouk. The prices. Hang on, let me fix this real quick. YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter, you guys can ask questions as well. Okay, your question is, following other big box retailers have examined their earnings report are generally they gain stock price. I've examined their earnings report. Generally, they gain stock price soon after. Companies like Walmart, Macy's. So you're saying after this earnings report, they fell, kind of thing? Or are you looking to buy this crazy dip on this stock coming into their earnings? Sorry, Farouk, I don't have sound right now. My headphones aren't on, so give me 1 second. You're gonna have to repeat that. 1 second. Talk real quick. Nope. 1 second. Let's see if I can fix this. Try again. I don't know what's going on with my headphones. Sorry about that. You got to type it up. Or you can type it in a DM and I can give you a little bit better explanation. Yeah, they typically do. I mean, I would say that stuff like Walmart doesn't, or well, Target did last summer, right? With that woke kind of LGBTQ type stuff when that came out. Kind of same with Budweiser. Um, However, I would say like something like Walmart is a little bit slower. It's been doing very well percentage wise. I mean, I feel like a lot more people have to spend money at cheaper places. Like let's see what where's yeah, there it is, Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree hasn't done that well, to be honest. Pretty flat the last 2 years and actually coming down kind of hard here. We're on 52-week lows. Dollar General, same thing. So that actually kind of surprises me. Yeah, Lee's a little bit more of a fundamental guy for sure. And yeah, he's on vacation. So when he gets back, I think that's probably who you should go for. I mean, I think you know me a little bit a little bit better now, and you know that I'm a very quick, under 10-minute kind of trader. I just don't pay attention to all this stuff, and I trade my same kind of basket of names. But good question. I would actually like to hear his answer on that. I mean, to me, Ulta's down a ton. I don't know why. I don't know exactly what happened, but this doesn't look like a bad buy area. I mean, I wouldn't say short term, but possibly longer term into the end of the year. I mean, we're down at 380 right now, and we hit 580 just this year. You know what I mean? So yeah, and I know earnings are coming up as well, so that's pretty cool. Where is Target these days? It's up a little bit. Finally, it's recovering a little bit from all that craziness. Well, I guess it was in here actually. Um, yeah, Target's on okay. We're kind of flat for the year though. Brother works at BMY. He said their company is going through hard times. Okay. Was that Bristol Meyer? Yep. Well, yeah, the stock price is layoffs just happened. Yeah, I mean, stock price is showing that. We're down 50% from highs back in 2022. How do you plan out a long-term put? Well, the thing is, they're down 50% from 2 years ago. If he thinks that things are going to get even worse for the next, couple years, well, you would just want to buy leaps. You would want to buy puts for next January or just see how far you can buy them out. If you want to talk to Bull about doing some sort of option spread on that, again, I'm just not very well versed in the whole uh, option spread kind of strategies. So that's kind of where you'd want to go. And again, I don't want to sway anyone's minds on any sort of long-term fundamental play. That's just not what I'm good at, and that's just not what I do. So I can give you my quick opinion on it. You know what I mean? Just looking at a chart. But until I do my actual research on something and all that stuff, I can only tell you what I think. So just always keep in mind when you ask me this stuff, I'm more than happy to answer the question. It's just I don't want to sway your mind, and I don't want to go against any of the other traders here, just because like I said, I'm a day trader. I'm in and out very quick. Do my same thing every day. I'm just a momentum kind of. I don't know what's the word. I kind of trade on feel and intuition rather than numbers and numbers and numbers. Um, will you be looking for MU? Yeah, Micron was a trade idea I had today. Looks like they actually ended up decently strong off the open here. They made a quick move through the high and fell back down, so I stayed away. I stayed away from it. Um, Slowly climbed back up and is moving with Nvidia. So anytime you see, to me, this looks like a beautiful breakout pattern here. Like I could see 140 very easily in Micron. Does that mean I'm going to swing this stock? No, I'm not. I'm just not good at that, right? Um, do I think that that's very doable? Yes. Do I want to pay to see if it happens? No, and that's just another big reason why I'm not a swing trader. Yes, maybe I do miss out on some bigger moves. However, I'm totally fine with catching 2, 3 day trades on the move and making a good amount of money. I don't think the price action was very good today for me personally. But yes, to answer your question, I would definitely I'll keep Micron on watch. To me, this is a great breakout pattern on a big time frame. I want to catch momentum. I don't think we've seen the real breakout day. I think you could see an easy $5, $6 move out of this. It's kind of what I think is maybe even a $10 move. I don't know, a little bit of nice little catalyst, right? Some good news. Send this thing to the moon. Catch it. Sam helps. No, my birthday is in February. So actually, February 26th, whatever that is. Why? What makes you say that though, Sam? Let's see. What else? I like the quick in and outs and day done. TK, me too. I have made my living doing that. And honestly, right now, again, I love to stream and live trade, so I'm okay with sitting there for an hour. But yeah, I mean, if I didn't stream, there's gonna be days where I would show up 5, 10, 15 minutes, don't like anything, leave. There's days when I'm going to bed knowing tomorrow's going to be a big day. If this, and this happens, wake up, boom, boom, you know, make a month's paycheck in 6 minutes and leave, you know? So there's a lot of great things that come out of this strategy. The hardest thing is the psychology and the discipline and the patience behind it. I think that was a big reason why it takes not only me but a lot of other people a long time to get good at something like this. Is because of the mental side of it. It's extremely hard to train yourself what to do, but over time, early on, I've told you guys this probably 100 times, but early on in your career, you want to be there every single day, and I think you should, right? Of course, I think you should to learn as quickly as possible, but later on, after a couple of years, you're going to realize market's not going anywhere. Um, I rather show up on the good days and take the good trades, right? A good analogy for that I've told you guys that I actually learned a couple months ago is it's like learning how to surf, right? To learn how to surf, you got to be out there when there's big waves, small waves, choppy waves, no waves, storms, lightning, whatever it is. Once you're a good surfer, you can just look out your balcony and you just know when it's going to be a good day to go surf. You know what I mean? As cheesy as that may sound, it's kind of the same thing with trading. You just know when the market is ripe and you know when it's a good environment to trade in. And then you kill it. You're aggressive, pedal to the metal. You also know when things aren't moving very well and it's easy to lose money and you stay away. Because the more you can teach yourself to stay away from the bad environments, the less money you'll lose, and the more confident you're going to be when there's good trading days and the market environment's good. And then you know, just being patient there and then making your killing when the market's right, then it makes up for all the days that you sat back and just relaxed and had no stress and all that. Sam helps. That's pretty good. That's pretty awesome. Um, I won't touch crypto anyway. I was only curious. For now, they might come later. Yeah, but options is a way to leverage, right? You can leverage. I mean, some brokerage have like over 50 times leverage for crypto. So it's kind of the same thing. You're just not buying an option contract. You're leveraging your money. But let's say I go in with $1,000 and I want to 50 times leverage my money. That means I technically have $50,000 to trade with, but my stop loss is 50 times smaller. Well, there you go, 200x. So that's something people don't understand. It's when you go 50x, your stop loss from whatever you wanted it to be is cut 50 times down. So you can get liquidated in a blink of an eye. But if you have a perfect entry and you're never really red, then yeah, I mean, you could use 200 times your money, which is insane. But that's just, people don't look at the other side of it. They just think from a gambler's perspective, like, oh, I can use 200 times my money. And, you know, because it shows I'm in the right place compared to someone who has done it as long as you. Appreciate the streams. Yeah, Sam, for sure, man. You're in the Discord, right? I would think. But yeah, man, I appreciate that. You said the stop loss right away. Liquidated will take your whole. Yeah, yeah. When I mean liquidated, it's like if you go with $1,000 and you don't have a stop loss, well, you could instantly lose all that money in a blink of an eye. That's kind of what I'm talking about. Yeah, $100 gone. Yeah, TK, right. I mean, I've done it too. Just instantly gone. So it is what it is. But yeah, guys, I got about 20-ish minutes left. So again, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. You guys can ask questions as well. Other than that, I'm probably just gonna flip through some charts here and see what I like for tomorrow. So definitely Micron, going to keep that on watch. Again, I like this breakout. I do think that there is a lot of room that this has. I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised to see like 145, 150 here in a few weeks. So I'll definitely keep that on watch. Let's check out Tesla real quick. Not really doing much. I think I mean, what do we see here, right? I mean, 180 could have a small scalp, but I feel like, that happened on this one day. However, look what we're sitting in now. Kind of a box here. I mean, you can kind of draw it both ways, right? Big and small. So probably just going to wait for, under 168 and see if this would fall down. To me, I would rather upside. But right now, guys, I mean, we're just trading pretty terribly here on Tesla. So right in the middle of this range, going to stay away from that. Amazon, I don't really love that either. Microsoft, look how similar this is going to look to Micron, right? This is almost exactly the same, right? So I'm going to keep Microsoft on watch pretty much the same way. And yeah, so those two, AMD, yeah. I mean, AMD to me looks okay. But again, I have this box here and it's just, I have it nice and bright. So I know, Ethan, there's no reason to trade it in here. Could you pick up, a couple nickels and dimes, forcing the trade? Sure. Is it worth it? No. It's just never worth it. I'd rather keep a couple $100 in my pocket rather than just testing it out and losing. What's next? Obviously NVIDIA, right? But See, but I want you to understand why I'm looking at Microsoft and Micron, because we could see something like this, right? It's just the same kind of big time frame breakout through all-time highs. So look at NVIDIA here, look at Micron here, and then look at Microsoft here, right? A lot of potential. Is it guaranteed? Of course not, but we'll just see what happens. Oh shoot, I missed a lot here. Let's see. I just want to dump Ultra Friday and then get into Micro for long haul. Ethan, do I ever look at QQQ? I mean, technically I do. I just look at NQ. So I look at the raw NASDAQ futures. I don't look at the ETF. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of people that trade SPY and the Qs, right? So like when I talk about NQ every day, Farouk, I'm talking about the NASDAQ. If I talk about SPY, I'm talking about ES. So ES and NQ are the same. Well, ES is the S&P 500, NQ is the NASDAQ, but then SPY, right, is the S&P 500, but it's the ETF, and QQQ is the ETF of the NASDAQ. SPX is the S&P 500 index. NDX is the NASDAQ index. So it's all, and then there's SQQQ, which is I think it's a short, right? So when when QQQ goes up, SQQQ comes down. I think there's TQQQ, which is long. So yeah, long, just cheaper. What's QQQM? Invesco, QQQ, NASDAQ. Yes, I mean, it's all the same thing. It's a personal opinion. I like to watch NQ. That's kind of how I was taught, and that's kind of how I just continue to watch it. And I like to watch SPY over, I like to watch SPY over ES. NQ, let me see. So I have to type in /NQ, Farouk, and I'm looking at it right now. So again, I think you may be talking, and I don't have headphones on, so I cannot hear you, unfortunately. Yeah, sorry about that. I need to get that fixed. Something's wrong with my headphones. Not on Robinhood. Well, you don't need it on Robinhood because it seems like you're executing on Robinhood. I am watching NQ on a side screen as I'm watching a stock that I'm trading. So it's just something else that I'm looking at. I'm looking at 5 or 6 different things kind of all at the same time. I focus on some a lot more than others. But if you're just on your phone on Robinhood, then I don't think that you need to try to be focusing on that. Could I see this in TradingView? Yeah, you definitely can. And again, you can look at QQQ. It's the same as NQ. They're going to move the same. Yeah. So, just like SPYs with ES. Correct. Yeah, it's the same thing. One is just, NQ right now is $19,000 a share or whatever, and QQQ is 300-400, whatever it is. But yeah, guys, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't really love anything else. BA, yeah, I don't really care about that right now. What are some other names? Disney had some news, I think, last week, and not really. Let's check out earnings real quick. Let me go look it up. We're kind of coming into the end of earnings season now. So tomorrow we have Salesforce. We have that AI stock, which I'm pretty sure has nothing to do with the AI. They just simply have the ticker AI, which is the reason that it went up. OKTA, whatever that is. I've seen that move before. HP. We have Costco and Dell on Thursday. MongoDB moved. I remember that moving. I think it's WDB. What is the ticker? I can't read it. WUB? MDB. That's MDB. Duh. Yeah, so I remember when this went crazy back in this area. I traded it in here. It wasn't really something I traded back in this area, but I remember this. DKS. Do I have any secret stocks? No. There are some that I trade every now and then, like Google and Micron. I mean, I don't ever trade those, and we caught both of them last week. DKS, yeah, I mean, freaking strong. Yeah, Dick's Sporting Goods. So summer's coming around, right? Everyone's parents probably buying their kid a t-ball bat and cleats and water slides and jerseys and golf stuff, whatever. I mean, I feel like summertime is probably typically where Dick's is going to make the most money, but who knows? I haven't been to Dick's Sporting Goods in a long time. What is next? One more thing. What did I want to look at? Google chart real quick. Still pretty nice, going an all-time high. I'll watch this up near 180. Okay, so I have my alerts set. That's good. Other than that, y'all, I mean, I think that is it. I mean, let me check out Costco real quick. It's moving okay. When's Chipotle's split again? Oh, June 26th. I thought it was early June. 50-1 split. So at the end of next month, this is going to split. Oh, okay. Yeah. One more thing, guys. Remember, this is my last week here, live trading, until around midway through July. So I know that sucks to hear. I will be in the chat. I will be in like the day trading chat and the options chat religiously for you guys on Discord. So I will be around literally 24/7. No, Farooq, I'm interning at the trading floor that I have I've interned at the last couple of summers. So it'll be my last summer there, and the next summer I'll either work there full time or I'll stay here. So I don't know, but that only means that my live trading on the mic is going to be taking a back seat for about 6 weeks. After the 6 weeks, I'll be back better than ever. And again, I'm going to be getting access to a ton of more information there, guys. So trade ideas, tickers, just information in general. So the other traders here are just going to just take over for me. I am live trading tomorrow later in the morning, though, for Lee. So I think it's 11 Eastern time is when I hop on. What else? So yeah, after Friday, I'm going to be live trading the rest of the week. So tomorrow, a little bit later for Lee, and then Thursday, my normal free live trading with everyone, and then Friday, premium live trading because I'm taking over for Mr. Pookie's Revenge. So I'm going to finish out this week strong with you guys. I hope to get a couple good trades in. And then again, I will be around. I will be at my desk with Discord open all day. Believe me, all day. And I'll have articles and, I mean, I'm telling you guys, I'm given so much information there. Can we still get one-on-one even when you are not here? Yeah, of course. Of course. And I'm going to be doing lessons like this at night. So like the lessons won't change. My premium lessons and then my free lesson like I'm doing right now, those won't change, but those are going to be the only times I'll be able to be on mic like this and talk. Unless we kind of do like pop-up sessions or one-on-one meetings and stuff like that with you guys. So but I'm excited because I started working here with you guys last year around this time, and then I started interning. And then it took a few months, and finally I convinced them, like, hey, look, I'm used to talking on mic and trading live, so let me do it. And now we're here. But now that I have my place here, and you guys are following me, I'm excited to get to show you day-to-day stuff, give you the trade ideas, give you all the thought process stuff that's going on at the firm. It's really cool. I wouldn't drive an hour at 5 a.m. every single morning to do that for no reason. Yeah, back to the firm, Chris. Well, that's sweet, Farouk. Thank you, Vance. Yeah, literally, I'm going to be y'all's own Pelosi for the most part. So, for anyone on YouTube or Twitch or Twitter, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it'll be fun, guys. So, but other than that, I'm done for the night. It's kind of the same thing. NVIDIA, Microsoft, and Micron tomorrow morning. We quickly look at Netflix, but I don't think I'm going to be interested in that. Well, actually, I stand corrected. This looks like it's ready to pop again. I might trade that. Oh my goodness, that actually looks pretty good. All right, well, that may change the whole dynamic of tomorrow. All right, so yeah, throw Netflix in there. We'll see where it is in the morning, but I might trade that. Other than that, guys, that is all I have. So if there's any more questions, ask. If not, everyone get some good sleep, and let's kill it tomorrow morning. Let's have a great week. Thank you, Vans. You too. YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys Thursday morning.